Williams had several tanks all the way around it like this. We got up on his flat, and they'd shoot straight at you. They were good enough, they'd shoot at one man.
Really? One man did the whole thing?
The reason I know that is they shot at one, and they had armor-piercing shells. They went right straight through him and didn't explode.
Right through the guy?
Huh?
Right through the guy, really? Wow. Jeez. So they got hit by a shell directly?
Yeah.
Jeez.
But it didn't kill him right away. Just went through him. Knocked him down.
Jeez.
Goodness gracious.
And anyway, it's all new to me, of course.
And you're only what, a teenager at the time?
At 18. Yeah.
You're 18 years old, jeez.
And anyway, we stayed up there 13 days and nights.
And that was in Luxembourg, right? That was in Luxembourg? Jeez.
And it wasn't a pleasant stay. We had that same medic that attended that guy there in my hole that first night. He, I don't know how long it was, a few days, he shot himself.
Really?
And he was the only one who had. And Williams jumped in a hole, and I jumped in on the side because I didn't know what to do. And there was a German laying about 5 meters of that wall in front of us, on the other side of a thicket.
Really?
He's dead. And so we had to stare at him for 13 days.
Jeez.
He kind of got puffy.
Yeah.
And so you had to crap in your own hole.
Yeah.
And we used, you know what K rations are?
Yeah, the K rations, yep. And then you come in the
We
can.
used the boxes for that, keep them in our hole. We'd crap in those. Throw it out. You had to be careful when you throw it out. You might throw it in somebody else's hole.
Be like surprised, right?
Yeah.
You might think it's a grenade on accident, you know, you just can never know.
Very crude.
Yeah, yeah.
And we stayed up there. And I learned you had code words to say. And
You know, the safety and the password and such.
huh?
So like the passwords for when someone's running in.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Of course, when you shut off, you don't know what your password, the new password, every day. Anyway, we two or 3 days later, Williams and some more of us started down to get those big jerry cans full of water. The Jeeps or something was bringing it down to the bottom of the hill. And we had to go down and get that in our K rations. And when we went started off the hill, well, we got around I don't know, I guess it's an M1 in my belly. Password. Well, the password I heard was Betty Grable.
Oh, the actress?
Huh?
Is that the actress? Is that the actress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I used that. He rammed that down right in my belly so hard I thought it went into my insides. He said, that's not it. I said, well, that's the only one I got. So he let us on by finally. I started up there with one of those 5-gallon cans of water. God, it was heavy climbing up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we were in good shape then. And we got back up there with ammo and K ration. And that's the way it was 13 days and nights. Those tanks would just, every time we get over hole to take a crap, one of them would shoot at us. Nice place. And man, I tell you, it's nasty, nasty, nasty. And anyway, at the end of the long stay, here come our P-47s, our P-47.
Thunderbolt. Yeah, the Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good airplane for strafing.
Yeah.
Strafed us.
Oh, straight for you guys.
Yeah,
Jeez.
they was shooting at the tanks where the hill dropped off. The other side came up again. Tanks were all lined up around there.
These are German tanks,
Yeah.
right? Is this the same day when you saw that Panther, or is this another occasion?
Was it what?
This is a separate occasion from the Panther that you saw?
Well, yeah, it was 13 days later.
13 days later, jeez.
Anyway, here they come over. Well, I don't know who they were, but there was an officer, and one of our soldiers jumped out of the tank, out of the hole, and yeah, give it to him. Well, they both got hit.
Oh, boy.
They cut loose a little early, and I didn't want to get out and look at it anyway. Anyway, it was a nice introduction, and but one time during the night, the Germans had everything zeroed in. I mean, they set their artillery and they knew exactly where to shoot, down to St. Iris. That wasn't the way we were operating. And the fact is, our tanks, the Sherman, had 80 millimeter cannon. They wouldn't even knock out a Panther tank.
Really?
Hadn't hit them in the wheel.
Yeah.
And we didn't think that was very hot. And so anyway, they strafed, and those tanks always started moving out. We were going up where the Battle of the Bulge was. And so when they started moving out, oh, here come the P-47 again. But we went down the valley, came up on the other side where they were. But I'll tell you something, most people don't know this, but there were more people killed where I was with snipers. They were deadly. And anyway, it scared me just to talk about it almost.
I
But
understand.
anyway, we went across over there and started trotting. We're going up. He told them he'd have all this up there to relieve those guys at Bastogne.
Oh, wow.
And we started running when we got across the other side. All our equipment was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in really good shape, but some of them wasn't in good shape.
Yeah.
And we had one named Tombstone. He wasn't in my squad, but he smoked a lot. He wasn't in good shape. And he got lagging behind because we were trotting with all that equipment. He got behind. Some of the guys tried to help him stay up because there were snipers all over the place. Finally, they just had to drop him and keep up themselves because the snipers were popping away. And that was the last we ever saw him. But we went on up to relieve this town, and a lot of guys had frozen to death. And sat them down on guard duty and sat down behind a machine gun, and if I didn't keep moving or something, they'd freeze to death. They just fall over dead. Then we got up there, and I don't know, I stayed 2 or 3 days. The German tanks were all around us, and the weather was too bad part of the time for the P-47s to fly. And finally, I think 3 days, here come the P-47s, and they're shooting at these tanks that's all around us, and they moved out there. And of course, this is all new experience to me. And when they started moving out, we started moving out behind them. And anyway, that was my first introduction to combat.
Wow.
We just kept on going, and the Germans moved back, and that was about the end of the Battle of the Bulge. For us, it was. Anyway, you learned a lot. I mean, a lot. And I don't know, nothing happened much to us other than this strafing.
Yeah.
And you just learned a lot.
Wow.
And it wasn't funny.
Mm-hmm.
And we kept on going there. Finally, we reached the river Ride, I guess it was.
Oh, right on the border. Yeah.
The Wide River.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how the hell it happened, but they had a Navy landing boat on the river.
No kidding, really?
Yeah. And we started going down to the river's edge, and some German soldiers had got in a basement with civilians.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they'd shoot out there, and we'd shoot into the basement where those women and kids were. It was just awful. And we finally got over to the river's edge, and had in this Navy guy there, and had that thing on the front of it. That's it. Well, we got in there, it was dark, and he couldn't get the door down. We'd all loaded, ready to go across the river. He couldn't get the, boy, the guy got nasty. One of them said, "I'll blow your damn head off. Get that door down."
Really? Wow.
He got it down. But shells were exploding overhead, kind of added a little urgency. And one of them hit one piece of shrapnel, hit the side of that boat, clank. It got serious.
Jeez.
And we went across and got out of the boat. And that night, they put me on guard duty. And boy, that's scary. And just about the time it got daylight, I hear all these hobnail boots going clank, 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 clank. And I was out there by myself with a machine gun.
Jeez.
So I got down behind it. I said, hell, there's more Germans out there. I could kill them in a month. A little clank, clank.
Yeah, you can hear the hobnail boots. Huh?
Hobnail boots. And I didn't know what to do. I knew too damn many of them to me to start shooting unless they started. So I didn't ever pull the trigger. But here they come. And I had a couple of GIs guarding them. They came on over, and boy, I was so glad that I didn't start shooting.
Oh, so they were captured Germans. So they were captured Germans.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I can't, it's a big town. If I mention the name of it, you know. I'm not very good on names.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're all right.
Anyway, that's just kind of the way we started out.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, we'd run into those dugouts where the Germans had made them, and they had tank traps, and they used slave labor from these countries that they run over, like Polacks and
Yeah, Czechs and
Czechs and all that, and build those tank traps. And anyway, it was a learning experience. And finally, you kind of got the hang of it. Didn't make it any more comfortable. You're freezing to death. And we had the sorriest damn shoes. They were just like kind of like regular shoes like that, but they had rubber overshoes on them. Of course, it's only about that deep. Wading through that mud, it'd go down in your shoes, and everybody was talking about their feet were freezing, and a lot of them did. And we were going on there in a bunch of trees, and we could see a dugout, a mound, where they put out a bunch of trees and threw dirt on top of it. But we was on the wrong side. I don't know why they put the entrance on it. Finally, somebody was shooting a machine gun at it. And the guy ran around there, and where the entrance was, there was a machine gun right there shooting, but shooting up high. Nobody ever figured out why. But anyway, the guy went around and kicked the machine gun out of the way, and there was a woman, a whack, what do you want to call it? She's shooting damn limbs out of the trees.
Really, a woman?
Yeah.
Did she find herself a toy or something, or did she find herself a machine gun or something, or she issued a machine
I
gun?
guess they left her there to make some noise. Anyway, we ran in there. She went in the back, and some of the guys were giving her some business. And this inside was about the size of this room, and we were exhausted. And I had probably 20 men in there. I hear these guys crying, and I never heard grown men cry, but they were crying, and they were so scared. And shells were hitting all around, hitting the top of that thing. And I thought, this is awful. Grown men so scared that they're crying. And that was just a thought that hit me. And we didn't stay there very long. We were in the Siegfried lines.
Oh, yeah.
And we moved out of there, and I don't remember where we went from there, but it was just like that all the time. And so we were all afraid we were going to lose our feet.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we went from there, but it just like that day after day. And the M1 was the best thing we had. It wouldn't jam like the carbine.
And bung, 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 ping, right? Say bap, 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 then the big O ping. You know, like with the clip coming out, the ping.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're
Anyway, we kept going, went through there, and on March 16, we pulled out, going in a neck of trees. That night we went finished going across the Siegfried line, and the shells all the time going across there on the road.
Mm-hmm.
If you stayed on the road, it's better on than jumping in the ditch, because they had the ditches mined. And God, we was tired. You couldn't stop to go to the bathroom. Finally, just unzipped it, let it hang out, made a trail all the way. And so we got across an open field. Boy, it was awful. Shells, blah, 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 blah. And went in some more trees. It's just a narrow strip of trees. Of course, the German artillery knew exactly where we were. And the artillery in a tree, I'm sure you know, you come in and the artillery hits the top of the tree. They shower razor blades all over you.
Yeah.
It's awful being trees, artillery. Anyway, we went on to a little, maybe 50 yards wide trees, and stopped there. Williams, we stopped in a little thing like this, and Williams and the rest of them were standing around there, and about that time a German soldier jumped up out in like a wash, jumped up, and one of our guys had a Browning automatic. Sounded like a machine gun.
Yeah, the Browning.
Oh, the BAR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is 1913.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, well, as soon as I did, I picked my trusty shovel up and started. There was a tree there, big tree, and it had roots running out like. I got right in there and started digging out because I knew the Germans had that all zeroed in.
Mhm.
And Williams, my squad leader, said, King, he said, we're moving out in about 5 minutes. Take that town down there. Anyway,
wow.
it didn't take but just a minute to kind of get a little, this somewhere you put your back in. And this is, I got it down. Here it comes. Oh, I mean, limbs were flying everywhere, smoke. And I mean, just whop, it's like that. Well, I heard it coming. I stuck my butt up in that hole. I was about the only thing hanging out with a little bit of my shoulders and my legs. And all those limbs falling and smoke. And when it fell, I looked up and everybody there was hit but me.
Wow.
Everybody in my, I think it was fourth squad, yeah. And Williams had his guts hanging out, and most of them had head wounds. One old boy was a pull-off. He had blown his heel off. Just blew it completely off. And he was jumping up and down and saying, damn, $1 million wound, $1 million wound. He knew he was getting out of there. And
Jeez.
I couldn't believe he was jumping up and down because he got his heel blown off. But like Williams was holding his guts, he was back in fighting in about 5 weeks.
No kidding, really.
It looked awful.
Jeez.
It's a big old where they sewed it back up and big bandage, right? But anyway, the third squad had a tall, blonde, blue-eyed German-American soldier.
Mhm.
And he hollered at me, he said, I need some help. Well, I didn't know what to do. I went over there, and his squad leader was named Boggs,
Mm-hmm.
B-O-G-G-S.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the pieces of shell that broke his leg into right about here.
Oh.
It's just sticking out through the flesh. Of course, he's screaming, and most every time he got hit like that, he'd crap in your britches, stunk like that.
Mm.
And he said, I need some help. Well, I saw that darn bone sticking through there. Boggs was crazy with pain. And they said, we got to take this son of a bitch back because our medic had shot himself. And so I said, well, looks like maybe we need to get some, I'd splinted lots of calf and cow legs and stuff. I needed to get some sticks, put around his leg, try to straighten it out a little bit. And we did that. It wasn't a very good splint, but we got it, put his belt around it, tightened it up. Of course, he's cussing us out all the time.
Mm.
And finally took our raincoat off our belt and put some limbs through it, used it for a stretcher, pretty crude. And we'd only gone about back to where we'd come from. We knew a company behind us. We'd only gone that way about, I don't know, maybe 50 yards. And here comes some P-47s over, just blowing the hell out of everything. and old Sol, S-O-L, he and I dropped Boggs and hit the ground ourselves. And of course, Boggs talked about our ancestry a little. And we went and picked him up again after that strafed us one little way, and here come another. Damn. We were getting straight, but it was by our own plans. And we dropped him again. Of course, we discussed our ancestry a while. And the next time we got up, we started going on down the way we'd come out of. And here come the P-47s again. Well, we had a Jeep driver for our company, and he'd bring up cans of water and ammo. And he was driving up a little pathway up through those streets. Just as we got almost even, a P-47 came over shooting lambs out of the trees. We dropped Boggs, and that damn Jeep went right straight. I mean, way up, like 5 foot.
Wow.
Just blew it off the ground. And old suspended, he was in it, and he went higher than it was. They killed him, of course. Just riddled the Jeep. And we picked Boggs up, started on down through the trees. Got out there and got in the clearing, the sun was shining, and